Welcome to CAS 109 Digital Presentations, Columbia Gorge Community College, the Dalles, Oregon, Mrs. Hughitt instructor. We are going to be doing week 4 directions here. This will be a shorter video. I'm not going to go into a lot of how-tos on it, just a little bit. That's your objectives. And I did throw in a challenge for any of you that are a little bit more advanced in PowerPoint. If you want to give the Zoom a try, I would love to see that. In fact, might even throw a few extra credit points your way if you go ahead and give that a shot and make it work. Your video directions, your steps to help remind you of what you're going to be doing. And this week you're going to be using the design principles from week 1 to make it the best looking project you can. You're going to need to add text boxes for titles and text on the slides, so you have some things you can animate. You need to format your images. If you did not take time to do that last week, you'll need to take care of it this week. You need to add word art on at least one slide, putting in transitions between your slides, adding animations to your slides, and set the timing so it will run automatically. Now, there are some cautions to that. Timings are wonderful, but not if you go so fast that the people see the text and miss the picture, or they see the picture and miss the text. And the more text you have on a slide, the longer you need them to give them to read it. But you also have to be careful you don't make it so long your reader gets tired and goes and gets a cup of coffee or takes a nap in between the slides. So it's a really fine art to time a slide so it really works. So that's what you're going to play with this week as you do it. So you're going to go back to your PowerPoint from your album last week, and you're going to bring that up. And this was the one I was working on. Now, I've got some things I need to do to fix that. That was not too bad, and it's probably about the best picture I have of him. This one could use some cropping. Poor little tundra dog is standing out there in an awful lot of snow and doesn't really need that much snow around him. And then I can make him to be a little bigger dog. Careful you don't make a Sheltie look like a dachshund, though, by stretching it in the wrong direction. I did not like that picture. I just think it's way too blurry. I found a better one, so now I'm going to go insert pictures, and I'm not going to do photo album again. I'm just going to do a picture. And it's in that same album pictures. I stuck it in there, and there's a better picture of this guy. And then again, he needs a frame, maybe a nice heavy black frame to highlight his nice black coloring. And I think I have most of the others with their frames and their information and everything that I need. So now I would be ready to start in on the process of the word art. So I'm going to take dogs in our family. I'm going to take that out of there, and I'm going to insert, and I did do a copy, by the way. And I can pick a color, I can pick a style. I think I'm going to pick that. I'm going to put that in there. And now notice we've kind of got I've got a mess here. So that didn't work out quite like I wanted to do. I got to get this guy out of here, I think. There we go. Now let's try to put in word art. I don't like that word art, sorry. There we go. It just didn't take it on the first run. Now I can make that larger. I can turn it some. Be careful or you'll end up with something like that. So, pay attention to what you're doing. You can also, yes, I always get in trouble with those. You can also format the text effects some, and you can add shadows and reflections and glows and all sorts of types of things to that. You can also format the shapes some with fills and colors and put images in here and do different things inside it. I know one thing is it's just way too small. Now what happens there? I just have to lift that up to the point that I can get under it. So I'm going to have to size that down a minute. Grab this guy. This box is way too big for what it is, so I can size that way down. See if I can catch that box again and get that down and out of the way. And now I'm able to play with this one more. And once I do something like that, then I can add a gradient texture fill behind it if I want to, or no fill. I can also format the actual shape. And in this case, I can add a reflection. There are just lots of things you can do to it. I'm going to just kind of quit there because I don't want to spend a lot of time playing with it on the video, but there are a lot of things you can do with that to kind of add to it. So for that, there's actually a way to arch it too. You can play with that as well. There are just lots and lots of things, so be sure you watch all the videos that will help you with inserting and formatting word art, applying the transitions, animating objects and texts, and how to do timings. Now there are some different ways and different types of timings. So there are actually 3 videos here. None of them are absolutely perfect, but between them, I think you'll get a pretty good feel for what you can do. And that should get you through the week.